Hello, my name's Zoe Gové. I'm here today to talk to you about the secrets of a successful referral program. This is me looking a little bit moody, I must admit. This picture is 3 years old. I've been with Mentor Me for 3 years, and this is about half of my team now. When I joined Client Success, there were 4 of us, and now we're about 25, so I think it's probably time to get some more pictures done. Anyway, like I said, what I want to speak to you about is the 4 secrets of running a successful referral program. So I guess the first thing to say is I don't really think of these as secrets, and that's because my team talk about these all of the time. This really is our bread and butter. But to summarize it quickly, the secrets are, firstly, you need to be remarkable. Secondly, you need to ask your customers to refer. Thirdly, you need to ask them nicely, always good to be polite. And fourthly, you need to do your homework. So I'm going to use this as a framework to hang off some of the research that we've done with consumer groups and the experience that we've got with running referral programs for over 400 clients. So first up, being remarkable. We really do mean this quite literally. You need to have something that your customers will want to remark on, something that they want to tell their friends about. So we've done some research, and there are a number of different factors which make a consumer more or less likely to refer a product, a brand, or a service. So these are the positive indicators. Now, there's not a huge amount that's surprising here, but up at the front, the most important things are being trustworthy as a brand, having good quality, and a really good customer service. Interestingly for me, and I think possibly a lot of you think that incentive is a really, really big driver. It's not to say it's not important, but it's really quite firmly middle of the pack. It's going to give your customers a reason to refer, but it's not absolutely everything. So on the flip side, things that are more likely to make someone not want to refer is quite simply a bad product, a bad service. So if you find that you've got really, really poor Trustpilot reviews or a FIFO rating, you probably want to sort that out first before asking your customers to refer. Interestingly, these factors change depending on the age of your demographic. So older customers are far more likely to have a bigger bearing on quality and customer service than younger demographics. And there are also some sectors that are more likely to be referred. We find in general, experiences are more likely to be referable than products, and women are more likely to refer than men. Having said that, we run a huge number of really, really successful referral programs in sectors which sadly and slightly stereotypically are thought of as more male-dominated, so the finance sector and technology. I do think this is definitely true, and especially in finance, when there's a new product, something breakthrough that people really want to talk about it, they do. I'm pretty sure my husband has referred half of our friendship group to Monzo, and it's because it's such a great service, he really does go out of his way to talk about it. Maybe less so for the moisturizer that he steals from me, still. So the second secret then is to ask. Your customers won't refer that much unless you actually ask them to do so. So what we want to think about here is when to ask your customers to refer. Now, the way that we think of this is in 3 points. So there is the holy grail of when to ask your customers to refer. Now, firstly, they need to be online because it just makes it easier. Secondly, not in the middle of doing something else. So we don't want to distract from any other messaging that you're doing or anything else that you're trying to drive your customers to. They need to be at the end of a journey and, importantly, end of a happy experience. So there are a whole number of ways that you can think of this, and it really is different for each brand. So from a retail perspective, post-purchase makes absolute sense. As Chloe said, the minute that someone's just booked, it's a great time to present them with an overlay to ask them to refer their friends. However, if we were in a utilities business, maybe after a successful switch, you've gone on to your new service, you've had a good experience, that's a great time to ask a customer to refer. Equally, in other sectors, you really want to find that moment where your customer's happy, they're engaged, and that's the moment when you want to target them. This really is the platform from which you're building your referral program. So I've got some examples of awesome different promotion points from our existing clients, and I want to run you through a few of these now. So the first one is from Shoeaholics, which is part of the Kurt Geiger family. So when they launched their program 2 years ago, they did a huge amount of promotion. They did quite a lot of it on site, but they sent a really nice soulless email, which I'm not sure if you guys can see this one, but it's the one on the left, launching the program, telling all their existing customers about this great new scheme and the fact that they could refer their friends. This worked incredibly well for Shoeaholics. They have a really loyal base of customers, and they're also really discount savvy. So this worked really well for them. Slightly different brand, but Swoon Editions. So they do a lot with segmentation. So there's quite a few different options here from places that they've referred. The one on the far right-hand side is actually in a catalogue, so it's a print version, and that was a pull-out that people could give to their friends. They also do segmentation for their VIP customer group, people who they know come to Swoon and shop on regular occasions. They go out of their way to tell these customers that they're special, they're part of this special VIP group, and they get a discount that's actually better than the regular referral program. And onto a quite different brand here with Hive. They get the majority of their customers interacting with them as a brand on their app. So it made complete sense to promote referral in their app. And this is just their main menu bar down here. So really it's about finding what's right for you. Sometimes I wish there was a one-size-fits-all, but there really isn't. It's about mapping that journey, and it's the job of my team to map your customer journey with you and help you identify various points at which to promote your scheme. So on to the third secret, asking nicely. So we've talked about incentive briefly already. Incentive is a really nice reason to get your customers talking about referral. Like I said, it isn't everything, but you do want to get it right. And so this is definitely something that we would recommend that you test a lot when you launch and as your referral program matures. Now, quite interestingly, the younger your customers are, the more likely the incentive is to have an impact on them. And interestingly, more than any other group, the 18 to 24-year-olds will be more compelled by a gift. And I think Sheerlux is probably a good example of this. They probably sit between these two demographics. But giving that gift, like a discovery product, is a really nice way to ask your customers to refer, knowing that they'll get something as a reward. So A/B testing, so Tim's mentioned this already, but our whole methodology is based on A/B testing. Now, given this is a room of marketeers, I'm sure you guys have done plenty of testing already, so I kind of feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but this really is everything that we do is based around testing. Every single element of your referral program is testable, from the incentive to the copy, to the color of a button, to the order of 2 different sharing options. These things are hugely important in the way that your customer is going to receive the offer and whether or not they're likely to share. It's also important that you test every single part of the funnel. It's not just that first thing that a customer sees, it's really as they're going along the journey, what's going to compel someone to go and make that first purchase, sign up to your service, switch their utilities. What is it that's going to make them do that? And we really see if you put together a really solid A/B testing and promotion plan with your success manager, we've seen 5 to 7 times improvement in share and purchase rates within the first 6 months. So it really is all about making the most of that channel. So I've got a few examples here. So we pulled this from our existing customers. I'm going to ask for a bit of audience participation here. So I want you to put your hands up for which one you think is right. So on the left, we have a 10% off reward. Sorry, on the left, and then on the right, it's 15% off. So put up your hands if you think the 10% off one. And the 15%? Yeah. But not only was it the winning variant, I promise you it was the winning variant, it actually had a really significant AOV impact. So just for adding that extra 5%, customers spent 40% more on their basket. So the overall value of running that test was really, really big. So again, looking at incentives. Now here in beauty, so with Elemis, again, these guys have been clients of ours for a couple of years. On the left, we've got a 10% off reward, and on the right, a free gift. Any ideas which one? Who thinks the first one? So the 10% off and the free gift. Now this is going to go against something I just told you, but actually 10% was the winner. Elemis has a slightly older demographic. They also have their slightly higher price point than a lot of other items in the beauty market. And we found people who were shopping with 10%, although it had a slightly lower share rate, people were actually buying more, because getting 10% off when you're spending upwards of £80 is quite significant. I was right the first time. There we go. So the third one, again, 2 different incentives, giving £10 off a first visit or £7.50. I feel like we've possibly talked about the answer to this one already, so I'm just going to skip ahead and say the £7.50 actually delivered 30% more new customers. And the final one, actually framing the way that you want to ask your customers to refer and framing what the incentive is. So this is from a company called Pay As You Gym. Now on the left-hand side, they offered 50% off when you get your friends to sign up to Pay As You Gym, or on the right-hand side, a half-price gym pass. So the exact same incentive, just framing it a different way. Who's in for the first one? 50% off. And the second one? 50-50, come on. Actually, it was a draw. So there we go, the room is right. What we're trying to prove here is we don't always know the answer. Every time we have a hypothesis, we want to test it. I think it's quite easy for marketeers who really know their customers and really know their brand to say, this is what's going to work, we've done this before. Actually, quite often we find that the behavior is different, so it is always worth testing these things, drawing up a really comprehensive plan and seeing that through. And that's especially important in the first 6 months. So onto my final secret, doing your homework. I'm pretty sure this was written by someone with school-aged children. Last time I thought about homework was quite a while ago. What we really mean here is investing time in your referral scheme. It's not a channel like PPC that you just turn on and it works. It does take an investment, but a little really does go a long way. So by working with your client success manager, forming that testing and promotion plan and seeing it through, you can really have a significant impact on improving the performance of your scheme. So we asked our clients how much time they actually spend running their referral schemes, and on average, it's about an hour a week. So like I said, a little really does go a long way. So to sum up, my 4 not very secret secrets. Firstly, be remarkable. Find something that makes your customers want to talk about your brand. Find the right time to ask them and target them at that point. Ask them nicely, give them a really good reason to want to share. And finally, just doing your research, invest some time in your program, and it really will see a massive improvement in performance. Cool. Thank you very much.